Hi, and in this short video, I'm going to show you how the Calibration CoPilot platform now can auto-send authorization text messages, email messages, or app notifications when a service provider, yourself, or your technician creates a quick quote or estimate for a customer without, I repeat, without the customer requesting an estimate or a service through the Calibration CoPilot platform. Now, this workflow will typically be used when a customer, your customer, requests a service via a phone call, via an email, via a text message, via a non-integrated web form, or when a technician that is already on site and identifies additional repairs or sales opportunities. Now remember, for this process to work, you must have already configured your customers' users to receive these emails or text. And we've already created a separate video for that, but let's review that first. So first of all, you have to be logged into your platform as the administrator of your company. Then you're going to go find your users that are going to get this. And in this case, Steve's Auto Body, Steve Stevens is the person from Steve's that I need to make sure he gets these emails or texts. So I'm going to go to edit, and I'm then going to, you'll notice I've already done this, but you're going to need, if he wants to get text messages, you're going to have to add the cell number and the type and the phone number here. And then you'll see it here, and then you'll check off here. If you also want them to get it via email, you check that and you save. So before, again, this is really important, before your customers can receive these auto-generated text or email messages for approval, you have to go in to their users and configure them. So that's the first step to making this happen. Okay, so once your customer users are set up to receive these auto-generated authorization communication, the process is as follows. As if I'm using the portal, I'm going to go to Calibrate ROs. I'm going to hit Add. I'm going to find my customer's business in the drop-down, and then I'm going to put in an RO number. I'm going to pick the year, the make, the model, and I'm going to either manually put it in VIN or copy and paste the VIN. And then if it's an insurance driven, or if it's not, I'm just going to put customer pay. Okay. And then I'm going to hit save. And so now once I've done that, I'm saying, okay, the service I'm going to provide them is I'm going to do a calibration. I'm going to do an on-site calibration. I'm going to do a pre and post scan. And I'm going to do a test drive. Again, this is the calibration provider or ADAS service provider or technician adding this to the estimate for the customer. They're going to hit next. Okay. And in this case, they can skip this page because they don't know if this is going to be if these checklists are going to be done, and then they can schedule it. So in this case, we're going to do this tomorrow at 10:15. And then I hit next. And we're going to do it in shop. Hit next. And now I'm done. And so now you have created a service request or an estimate for your customers. Okay, so now once the calibration provider, ADAS service provider, or technician has completed the quick quote process, the customer, the shop, the business that you're doing the work for is going to receive two things. Number one, they're going to receive in their pending request a pending request coming from you that shows them what you've done. Okay? And again, they'll be able to view this on the portal. But more importantly, they've also received a text message. And again, we strongly recommend that you use text messaging because it will ensure that the authorization will happen quickly. With email, The message may go to the junk folder, or your customer may not read his or her emails in a timely fashion. So again, step one, they're going to receive a pending request in their Calibration CoPilot portal, but they're also going to receive text messages. In the text message, it's going to present to that end user, your customer, it's going to present the RO number, the vehicle information. It's going to provide a link to for them to press on to review the details of the estimate. And then it's going to either ask them to approve the request by typing in approve in a number, or reject the request and typing in reject with the word reject and a number. Okay? And so let's take a look at what happens when they approve it. Okay? So once the customer has approved has authorized the repairs, the services to be performed, they'll be able to go back into their calibration request, and you'll notice now that request has changed from pending to submitted. Okay? So now, again, it's gone from pending to submitted. So if I go to pending request on the shop again, the customer, it's gone, and now that request has been converted from pending to submitted, and you can see that here in their submitted. Now I'm going to be the calibration provider or the service provider, okay? And now I can go, and now I will see that the Chevrolet Blazer has now showed up in my platform in the Calibration Center's portal as submitted. And so at this point, once it's submitted, as the user, I'm just going to go and I'm going to say, okay, I've submitted it. That's good. That's good. And at this point, I'm going to assign myself. And as soon as I assign myself, or the technician's assigned, that status of that particular request changes from submitted to working. And then if I go back and I'm the customer, the calibration business's customer, I can go back here and I will now see that status has changed from submitted to working. So again, really critical process to help calibration centers and or ADAS service providers to request and receive authorization from their customers via email and or text on quick quotes and estimate. Hope that helps. Bye.